need to borrow a pen or a pencil from one of you. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, good morning, online students. Good morning, good morning. Am I audible to all of you? Hi Shivani, Nana Saheb, Warrior KP, Kriti Yadav. Good morning, Pragati, Bharti, Rohan. Am I streaming fine for all of you? Good morning, Archit, Viraj, M. Khai, Viraj, Pooja Pal, Sachrit, Ahana. Yeah, I got a bit late. Won't make excuses. I woke up late. Okay. Yesterday was a long day for me. Okay. So that's how I got a bit late. Hi, Ishu, Venkata. Fine. So I think our task is cut out. 2-3 things I have in mind. Let's see how much of all of that I can cover. So one big area of questions, though in last couple of years they have not asked too many of them, but Indian monsoon in climates, linked to that the rainfall pattern, linked to that vegetation. So that's an important area. So in one of the previous live sessions on YouTube, I have already covered the physiography of India. Okay, and I said then also that one of the main problems of geography is that when you are studying geography, you need to have a good idea about the maps, the diagrams. You must exactly know what things are, where are they located. Without the map, without the sense of relative locations, it becomes difficult. Okay, so let's hope we can do that now. So this is the textbook I am going to follow. India Physical Environment. I hope all of you have the copy of this book. Yeah, India Environment. This is the textbook. This book, class 11 textbook. Okay, all of you keep your books handy with you with a pen, pencil. And as I read, I'll keep explaining. Okay, and we'll have some jottings done on the textbook itself. Hi Balbir, hello Kunal, Venkata, Prasad, Ishu, Kappa. Okay. And one request to all of you, have the patience of sitting through the process. So what happens is, many of us get restless, okay, after some time. Whatever we can, let us sit through the process and finish this topic. So I'm going to cover chapter climate, chapter 4 hai ye. It is chapter 4. Okay? This is part of the section 3. Section 3, which includes climate, vegetation and soils. Okay, we start off now. Okay, so page number 33 hai ye. Page 33. Good morning Nadia. Okay, I'm seeing you for a long time. Nadia Mary, you have not been on the net as often. Okay, so here we go. So keep with me. Yeah, hi. Monsoon connotes the climate associated with seasonal reversal. Okay, this is the important phrase. It connotes the climate associated with seasonal reversal in the direction of the winds. And India has a hot monsoonal climate, which is the prevalent climate of South and Southeast Asia. So monsoon is just not India, it's South and Southeast Asia. In fact, we also have monsoons in parts of Australia also, and we also have monsoons in parts of Africa also. The one in Africa is often referred to as pseudo monsoons. It is not monsoons the way we know it. It has some monsoon tendencies, but not really like what we have in India. So Africa also has monsoons, okay? Africa along the east coast, and in Africa along the Gulf of Guinea coast. So if you know the map of Africa, okay, I'm drawing the sketch here, okay? If you know the map of Africa, that's African Horn, that's Africa like this. There's the equator here we have. So this country is Somalia, we have got Kenya, Tanzania, Mozambique, South Africa. So this east coast of Africa, somewhere here we have the Tropic of Capricorn, and north up here we have the Tropic of Cancer. Okay, so ye wala part along the east coast includes Somalia, it includes Kenya, Tanzania, Mozambique. You have a small country called as Swaziland, South Africa. Okay, this is on the east coast. We have Somalia, we have Kenya, we have Tanzania, we have Mozambique, and we also have Swaziland, and we have South Africa. There, that's better. South Africa. So this east coast of Africa also has monsoon, and along the west coast here, in this part here, this is the water called as Gulf of Guinea. This is Gulf of Guinea. This coast has some monsoonal tendencies, but this is not like Indian monsoons. So we call these monsoons as pseudo monsoons, as in false monsoons. We call this as false monsoons. So what are the monsoonal lands of the world? Okay, your textbook says South Asia, it says Southeast Asia. In Africa, I have talked about the east coast of Africa, I have talked about the Gulf of Guinea. Okay, but these are pseudo monsoons, and we also have monsoons in Australia. In Australia, it is largely the parts of the northern coast. In Australia, this projection is called as the Cape York Peninsula, Y-O-R-K, Cape York Peninsula, and this is Gulf of Carpentaria, this water body here. This is called as the Gulf of Carpentaria. Okay, C-A-R-P-E-N-T-A-R-I-A, Gulf of Carpentaria. So along this coast here, okay, these parts can have monsoonal tendencies. Okay, so monsoons of Africa bhi hai. So these are the, and Brazil coast does not really have much of monsoons. Brazil coast is a marine type of climate, but we don't call that monsoons. Monsoons is South Asia, Southeast Asia, East Africa, West Africa, Gulf of Guinea, and parts of China, of Australia. Then we also have something called as temperate monsoons. You also have temperate monsoons. What all I discussed right now are tropical monsoons. Temperate monsoons are further beyond the tropics at around 37, 38, 40 degree latitudes. Okay, इसमें दो area है. One is called as the China climate. Other is called as the Gulf climate. The Gulf climate is South and Southeast US. The Gulf climate is South and Southeast US. And the China type of climate is south of Shanghai along the coast of Southeast China. So if I crudely draw North America, so that's Mexico, this is Florida like this, okay, and this is Californian coast here. So this part, the Florida region, the southern parts of US, Alabama, Mississippi, okay, this part has the climate called as Gulf climate, Gulf, Gulf type of climate. And in China, if you know the map of China, it's something like this here, Manchuria ऐसे है, Mongolia ऐसे है. So this is Shanghai, यहाँ पर Shanghai है. This is Shanghai, and south of Shanghai along the coast. So this part has this monsoon climate. We call this as China type of climate. Okay, this Shanghai city, south of Shanghai. So there's one more city here called as Guangzhou, 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 Shanghai, and your small islands here. यहाँ पर Hong Kong है, यहाँ पर Macau है. So all of these will have this temperate monsoons, not the tropical monsoon that we know. They'll have temperate type of monsoons. Okay, so that's your monsoon lands of the world. So tropical monsoon, South Asia, Southeast Asia, East Africa, West Africa, parts of Northern Australia. And temperate monsoons, दो area में ज़्यादा developed है. The Gulf Coast of US, Florida and the States, and the southeast part of China. Okay? So back to your textbook here. You know some areas of the monsoon world. This is the tropical monsoon. Achha. Now the monsoon regime emphasizes the unity of India with the rest of Southeast Asian region. आपको पता है एक program government has started, it's called as the Project Mausam. MAUSAM, Project Mausam. Project Mausam का क्या objective है? To link India and establish contacts on the basis of common monsoonal climate and cultures. India wants to connect. See, we should have some basis of interaction, right? Trade can be a basis, security can be a basis, historical factors can be a basis, population, migration, diaspora can be the basis. So we are finding new ways how to interact. So all the monsoonal lands of the world, जहाँ पर India वाला monsoons है, so we are trying to find a commonality, okay, through our cultures, climate, and our economy. Okay, so that's why it says the monsoon regime emphasizes the unity of India with the rest of Southeast Asian region. India, Myanmar, Thailand, Cambodia, we have got Laos, Vietnam. So these areas have the same type of climate, lot of commonalities of agriculture systems, population, our lifestyles, cultures. So we have this Project Mausam. Do go back and look up what is Project Mausam, the part of India's outreach to the monsoon lands of the world. This view of broad unity of monsoon type of climate should not, however, lead one to ignore the regional variations which differentiate the weather and climate of different regions of India. So although entire India is under monsoons, it says there are variations. There are variations within. Or variations ke liye, it talks about the second column, second paragraph, it says, so the temperatures can drop as low as minus 45 centigrade in winters around Leh. मिल रहा है आपको? Second column, second paragraph, fourth line. And in Churu, Rajasthan, may record a temperature of 50 degrees or more in the June day. So ये लेह आपको पता होना चाहिए कहाँ पर है, चुरू कहाँ है. Churu is in Rajasthan. Churu is northwestern Rajasthan. Northwestern Rajasthan, if you know a place called as Khetri, Khetri is part of a district called as Jhunjhunu district. Churu बस उसके side में है. This is northwestern Rajasthan. जो भी जगह लिखा जाता है in your textbooks, know where they are. So in your India's map, agar dekhoge aap, if you look at India's map here, India's map, so Churu is somewhere here. Okay, this is somewhere here. This is Punjab. Okay, this is Punjab here. Ye Rajasthan hai. So Churu is somewhere here, approximately somewhere here. This is Churu here, and Leh. Leh is somewhere here. This is Leh. This is Leh. So it says India has lot of variations in temperatures. Leh can have -45 and Churu can be far more hotter. So know the places here. And then it says that while the mercury hardly touches 19 in Tawang. Where is Tawang? Tawang is Arunachal Pradesh. Okay, Tawang Valley, Arunachal Pradesh. So if you look at again the same map of India, okay, so ye Bhutan hai. This is Bhutan. Somewhere here we have Itanagar here. Okay, so ye wala region Tawang region hai, this area here. This is the Tawang Valley region that we have, ye area. Very close to Bhutan border, very close to the Chinese border. Now Tawang Valley is developing its own railways also here. Tawang is one of the contentious debates, okay, with China. China claims that Arunachal Pradesh is little Tibet, okay, because Tawang is important for them. It has monasteries that China think is part of the Tibetan culture. Okay? So Tawang is here. So there are three places: Leh kahan par hai, Churu kahan par hai, and Tawang kahan par hai. Back to your notes again. So Tawang hardly touches 19, okay, Arunachal Pradesh. Look at the 6-7 line from there. It says that these examples confirm that there are seasonal variations in temperature from place to place and from region to region in India. Okay. It says in Kerala and Andaman Islands, the difference between day and night temperatures may be hardly 7 or 8 degrees centigrade. 7-8 degrees centigrade, it means it has very small range, not much difference. Why? Because these are coastal areas. These are coastal areas. Coastal areas, we have the impact of moderation of water. So while very high temperatures and very big range further northwards, Kerala and Andaman, the variations is very, very less. The Thar Desert, day temperatures can be 50 degrees centigrade, and the night times it might drop to 15 or 20. So look at the variations here. Approximately 30, 35 centigrade is the daily range of temperature. Okay. Now see, there have been years when ऐसे सवाल पूछे जा रहे हैं. They give you a rainfall value and a temperature value, and they give you 4 cities. They ask you which cities conforms to these type of values. Okay. एक question पूछा हुआ था on the annual range of temperature. उसमें I think Allahabad was asked, Kolkata was asked, Chennai was asked. So have a sense. अगर coastal areas हैं, the temperatures range of the daily range is very less, less than 6, 7, 8 centigrade. But if it is parts of continentality locations, Thar Desert for example, the range of temperature on daily basis can be as high as 30, 35 degrees centigrade. Okay, so you have a sense of the locations here. Okay, the next page, it talks about variations in terms of rainfall. It says, Cherrapunji and Mawsin Ram in the Khasi Hills of Meghalaya receive rainfall over 1080 centimeters a year. So almost 1 meter in 1 year. Okay, Cherrapunji and Mawsin Ram. Okay, so what is India's annual average rainfall? About 117, 118 centimeters is India's annual average rainfall. Okay, heavy rainfall in India means any rainfall above 200, 250 centimeters of rain is heavy rains in India. Okay, dry regions of India का मतलब है any place having rainfall of less than 75, 70 or 60 centimeters rainfall. Okay, so remember this range. That average of India is how much? I said 117, some books can mention 118 centimeters. A heavy rainfall implies more than 200, more than 250 centimeters is heavy rainfall. The drier parts, rainfall less than 70 centimeters, rainfall less than 60 centimeters. We call these as the dry regions of India. So western UP, Rajasthan, mein yahan par rainfall will be less than this. And even parts of central India, plateau can also be less rains. So compared to these values, the average itna hai. Okay, high rainfall means this. Look at the rainfall of Meghalaya in Khasi Hills. It is 1080 ka matlab kya hai? Rainfall of more than 1 meters in 1 year. That's a very, very heavy rainfall. Whereas Jaisalmer in Rajasthan gets more than 9 centimeters of rainfall in the same period. So in 1 year, Jaisalmer. So Jaisalmer, kaun sa part hai? So if you look at India's map here, okay, this is the Jaisalmer bulge. Jaisalmer bulge. So यहाँ कहीं पर जैसलमेर है. Okay, this region is, you know about Pokhran, right? Pokhran यहीं पर है. Somewhere here is Pokhran. Okay, so this region is Jaisalmer region. It's proper deserts. Jaisalmer is a proper deserts यहाँ पर है. So here the rainfall is less than 10 centimeters. Whereas ये मेघालय है. This is Meghalaya, Shillong. These hills are called as the Khasi Hills. Shillong is the highest peak of the Khasi Hills. This is Khasi Hill. यहाँ पे खासी के side में यहाँ पर Garo Hills हैं. We have got Garo Hills. इसके beyond यहाँ पर Jaintia Hills हैं. So in the Khasi Hills is southern part, somewhere here. This part here. यहाँ पर है Cherrapunji and Mausin Ram. Okay, so have a sense of location, all of you. This is Shillong. Shillong is a peak. Shillong is also a capital. Is the highest peak of Khasi Hills. इसके southern part यहाँ पर है Mausin Ram and Cherrapunji, where rainfall is more than 1 meter in 1 year. Back to your textbook. Tura located in Garo Hills. Tura कहाँ पर है? Go back to your map again. Okay, this is the Garo Hills. यहाँ पर है Tura, somewhere here. Have you all heard about a biosphere reserve called as Nokrek? Nokrek is Tura. यहीं पर ही Nokrek है. Nokrek biosphere reserves includes the Tura peaks. Okay, so Tura peaks ka rainfall is high but not as high, whereas Khasi Hill has very heavy rainfall. This paragraph is about the regional variations. So Tura in the Garo Hills receives an amount of rainfall in a single day which is equal to 10 years of rainfall in Jaisalmer. Okay, which means Tura Hills receives rainfall of more than 100 centimeters. All of you optional students, अगर question कभी पूछता है ना, write a pattern of regional rainfall of India, इससे अच्छा आप लिख ही नहीं सकते. इसी को पढ़ के लिख के आ जाना. India has special variation. मैप बनाकर the rainfall in Mausin Ram, rainfall in Jaisalmer, rainfall in parts of Garo Hills. बहुत अच्छा आंसर बनेगा आपका. ठीक है? Tura Hills and it says, while the annual precipitation less than 10 centimeters in north-western Himalayas and western deserts, it exceeds 400 centimeters in Meghalaya. So if I look at the entire region, ये तो जगह बता दिया. Okay, in terms of towns and cities, if you look at the entire northwest India here, खासकर you have a mountain range here called as Ladakh range. यहाँ पर Ladakh range है. Okay, somewhere here we have Karakoram ranges. Okay, beyond Ladakh, okay, the winds coming from this side, this Ladakh range acts like a barrier. Okay, so ये जो part है, Ladakh ये वाला part जो है, Aksai Chin, all of that, this area is in rain shadow region. It does not receive too much of rainfall. So it says this northwestern part of India, the rainfall is again very, very less. It's one of those high altitude cold deserts of India. Ladakh is a high altitude. It is the cold deserts of India. Okay, तो यहाँ पर rainfall बहुत कम है, whereas Meghalaya as a state has a rainfall of 400 centimeters. Remember, average annual rainfall of India is 115, 118. Okay, heavy rainfall का मतलब है more than 200-250 centimeters heavy rainfall, and Meghalaya alone has 400 centimeters 1 year. So comparing the regional variations of rainfall between eastern and the western parts of India. Okay, so I think the places are clear for all of you. The Ganga Delta and the coastal plains of Odisha are hit by strong rain-bearing winds called storms every 3rd to 5th day in July and August, while in Coromandel coast, thousands of kilometers south goes dry during the months. Most parts of country get rainfall during June, September, but in coastal areas, Tamil Nadu, it receives rains in the beginning of the winter season. This is a seasonal variation. So parts of eastern coast of India receive rains in the month of June, July. They also receive storms. So again, look at the map here. So if you look at, this is the Coromandel coast of Tamil Nadu. Okay, this is the Coromandel coast of Tamil Nadu, ye part here. So this part has a different pattern of rainfall compared to Andhra, Bengal and Odisha coast. The Andhra, Bengal, Odisha coast, this receives rains in the month of June, July, along with some storms also coming here. This area has a rainfall in the regular rainy season of India. Whereas Tamil Nadu region, Coromandel coast, ये वाला part जो है, it receives rain in the winter seasons. Okay, there is a seasonal variation between the eastern coast itself. A very nice column on patterns of rainfall and climatic variations in India. Okay, so the Ganga Delta and the plains of Odisha are hit by rain-bearing storms in the July month, in the August month. Okay, well, Coromandel coast is the Tamil Nadu coast. This coast receives rains mainly in the beginning of the winter season. Okay, in spite of all this, it says the monsoon rhythm is common. The India's scatter is the monsoon rhythm and character. So अगर ऐसा कोई question बनता है even GS paper में that India has monsoon rhythm, but there are regional variations in climate, rains and temperatures. Illustrate this. Okay, a straight answer ये वाला है. And these questions are very much possible in GS. Okay, so this example of India has regional variations in its temperature and the rains. What contributes to heavy rains in Cherrapunji? It is the consequence of the relief and mountains there. Okay, so I'll come to that afterwards, but you have asked me. So what happens is, in this part, you have got very, very strong winds coming directly from the Bay of Bengal. Bangladesh is low-lying plains. Bangladesh mountains nahi hai. The winds go straight away and hit this part of Meghalaya. Or where we have Cherrapunji, there we have gaps. It's called as funneling effect. उसमें हवा घुस जाता है और फंस जाता है. Air enters, the winds enter through the gaps in the mountains and the wind gets trapped there. Okay, so in this part, it receives the full force of the rains coming from Bay of Bengal. कितना पास बताओ? ये Bay of Bengal है. Very nearby you have got Meghalaya and nothing mountain in Bangladesh to block it. The full force comes here and this funneling effect, all of this creates heavy rainfall. Okay, so Cherrapunji ka relief reasons hai. The relief, the orientation of mountains that causes this type of conditions. So okay, fine, nice description. The next section is even interesting. ये सब questions बनते हैं in your GS mains हो, GS prelims हो. What are the factors determining the climate of India? ऐसे questions को ना सोचना नहीं है. सीधा उठाओ textbook से, okay, you go and replicate it. What are the factors? So India's climate is controlled by a number of factors which can be broadly divided into two groups. Okay, factors related to location relief and factors related to air pressure and winds. इसको ऐसे ही लिखना है आंसर में. The variations of climate, the variations of rainfall broadly can divide in two factors. One is the location relief, second is the pressure and the wind factors. Excellent, very nice way of writing. Okay, in fact I always say this, अगर writing सीखना है, NCERT is the best book. You can't write better than this, and very brief में it tells us many things. Yes, Batula, correct. The southwest monsoon winds, उसी की बात कर रहे थे. They are the ones, they contribute rainfall. Okay, let's talk about the factors of location relief. Let's talk about this. So look at the fifth, sixth line. देखो, the northern part of India lies in subtropical and the temperate zone. मिला आपको? The northern part of India lies in subtropical and temperate zone, and the part lying south of Tropic of Cancer falls in the tropical zone. So India में दोनों climate है और दोनों locations में India है. India is in a tropical zone and India is in the subtropical temperate zone. ठीक है? What separates this? What separates, okay, the tropical zones of India from the subtropical temperate zones of India? Yeah? अरे सीधा बोल रहे हैं ना, ट्रॉपिक ऑफ कैंसर ही तो है, इतना क्या सोच रहे हो? ट्रॉपिक ऑफ कैंसर जो साउथ है वो ट्रॉपिकल है, नॉर्थ ऑफ दैट सब ट्रॉपिकल है. नाउ चेंज माय क्वेश्चन. Which isotherm, okay, separates the tropical from subtropical in India? Yeah? Which isotherm separates tropical from subtropical in India? I want to show you something. Huh? Don't guess. देखो, I have a bunch of questions. 1997 में पूछा हुआ क्वेश्चन है, PYQ. Okay, it says, look at this one. The January, can you all see this? थोड़ा सा blur होगा. Okay, I'm reading it out. The January isotherm taken as the basis for dividing India into tropical and subtropical zone is, okay, 21 centigrade, 180, no, 18 होगा. 18 centigrade, 12 and 15. Okay, so see what type of question they ask. So अगर repeat कर दिया question, you cannot say कि option वाला पूछ दिया. Which isotherm, खासकर January isotherm बोल रहा है, separates India? Yeah, वो January हो summer. The answer is 18 degrees centigrade, 18. Remember this. It's a fact you will remember. Okay, 18 degrees centigrade. Actually should have been summer temperatures, but doesn't matter. Winter में भी 18 है. Okay, so NCERT में नहीं है. I was checking the questions asked. This was a question asked. So यहीं पर लिख लो साइड में 18 degree centigrade isotherm of the winters put a slash summers separates the tropical monsoon areas from the subtropical, okay, and temperate regions of India. Now my question is, होना चाहिए summer, winter क्यों लिखा है? Anybody can tell me? If some of you remember Köppen's classification, remember this. Okay, summer क्यों लिखा है? Why winter लिखा हुआ है? Why? Because summer में whole India is warm. You can't differentiate much in India. वो north वाला भी warm है, south वाला भी warm है. Telangana is hot, Delhi is hot, Rajasthan is hot, UP is hot. You can't differentiate. In the winter seasons, you can differentiate. Southern India is warmer than northern India. Köppen classification यही तो है और क्या है? Okay, एक type of climate is the 18 degrees centigrade of the winters that separates the A from the C type of climate. Okay, so others non-optional guys, this is a GS question. Okay, not a geography question. Which isotherm separates India from tropical and subtropical climate? ठीक है, दिखाया आपको मैंने. So यहीं पर लिखो साइड में 1997 का क्वेश्चन है. 1997, right? That's how you read a book. Not mechanically read the sentences. Let's move on. Because of contrast. A contrast is better established in the winter months for tropical areas. Okay, January is representing winter months. Okay, so tropical zone is near the equator, experience high temperatures, fine. Tropic of Cancer, fine. Look at the next. This is about latitude. Latitude decides what type of climate. Second is the Himalayan mountains decide. The lofty Himalayas in the north, along with its extensions, act as effective climate divide. ये भी पूछा हुआ question है. Which the following are India's climatic divides? Okay, so Himalayas are an important climate divide. It separates the towering mountain chain, provides an invincible shield to protect the subcontinent from the cold northern winds. And these cold, chilly winds originate near Arctic Circle, blew across Central and Western Asia. Himalaya traps monsoon winds also. So what is the role of Himalayas in the climate of India? It blocks the cold winds of North Central Asia and also traps the monsoon winds that bring rain towards India. Role of Himalayas in the climate of India. Okay. The next is land water distribution. You understand this one? The differential heating. Heating of land and sea creates different air pressures in different seasons. In general, you know, the coastal areas are moderated and areas away from coast, we call that continentality, is responsible for great range of temperatures. Amrit, it is 18 centigrade, not 15, 18. 18 is the isotherm separating tropical from subtropical. Okay. The role of land water, coastal areas mein. Okay. Distance from the sea. from the sea. So with a long coastline, the coastal areas have equable climate. What does the word equable mean? The temperature does not change much. Okay, it has equable climate. Areas in the interiors of India far away from the modern influence of sea. Mumbai and Konkan coast hardly have any idea of extremes. Konkan coast does not have much extremes. Okay, on the other hand, the contrast in the places, the interiors such as Delhi, Kanpur, Amritsar affect the entire sphere of life. Okay. आपको एक और क्वेश्चन दिखा देते हैं. आंसर क्या होगा जाने दो. जस्ट नो क्वेश्चंस कैसा पूछा जा रहा है. 2002 क्वेश्चन. Forget the answer. Answers are wrong. This was before we got the whole thing edited. Okay, इसको छोड़ दो. क्वेश्चन देख लो आप. आंसर क्या होगा मैं नहीं बताऊंगा अभी. Annual average temperature of a meteorological station is 20 centigrade. Its average annual rainfall is 60 centimeters. And annual range of temperature is 9. The station is which one? Allahabad, Chennai, Cherrapunji, Kolkata. Annual temperature. Annual average temperature is 26. Okay. The rainfall is 63. And the annual range of temperature is 9. Okay. कोलकाता हो सकता है क्या? चेरापूंजी हो सकता है क्या? चेन्नई हो सकता है क्या? या इलाहाबाद होगा? How do you answer this? It's impossible. आपने सारा याद किया होगा, पर इतना पता होना चाहिए. Okay. ये रेनफॉल इंपॉर्टेंट है. Okay. कोलकाता नहीं हो सकता. कोलकाता इज वेरी हेवी रेनफॉल. कोलकाता इज 100, 150, 120 टाइप्स. कोलकाता नहीं होगा. चेरापूंजी पढ़ लिया आपने अभी. Okay. चेरापूंजी विल have rainfall of more than 1 meter in 1 year. तो चेरापूंजी भी नहीं होगा. अब हम चेन्नई और इलाहाबाद आ रहे हैं. Okay. चेन्नई का रेनफॉल anybody knows कितना एवरेज है? How much is Chennai's rainfall? An annual range of 9 and temperature is 26 for the whole year. Coastal area है. Chennai का rainfall is more than 100. That's your catch. Okay. It cannot be Chennai. Even if temperature wise looks possible, but rainfall 60 बहुत कम है. 60 is Rajasthan. Okay. 60 is parts of Churu, parts of Bikaner. Okay. 60 बहुत कम rainfall है. So answer in this will be Allahabad ka rainfall, Prayagraj, is around 70 centimeters. So this is the closest. एक प्रॉब्लम होता है ना सर, चॉइसेस गलत लग रहे हैं. एंड आई हैव टोल्ड दिस टू यू. गलत भी है, मार्क द लीस्ट रॉन्ग. अगर सारा राइट है, मार्क द मोस्ट करेक्ट. इसमें चेन्नई गलत नहीं होता इफ यू गो बाय द टेम्परेचर एस्पेक्ट्स, बट रेनफॉल वाले में चेन्नई गलत हो जाएगा. ठीक है. दैट्स हाउ यू नो. दिस इज नोइंग, रिलेटिंग द क्वेश्चंस एंड द फैक्ट्स. यस. Yes, I agree. That's why I'm saying Chennai is getting trapped. Okay. And fact is, you do not know the actual values. तो कैसे मार्क करोगे आप? तो यहां पर give away is the rainfall. Chennai cannot be 63. 63 is plateau interior. से deserts बन जाएगा, 60 हो जाएगा. Chennai's rainfall is above 100. Around 120, 130 होगा चेन्नई का rainfall. That's good enough. Is longer period, yes. ठीक है, all of you here? I'm just telling you कि questions पता होना चाहिए, क्या पूछ रहा है. Okay, so we have to know some of the. I'll give you 2-3 questions. I'll come back and tell you. Got a sense here? Why I'm focusing on some of the data and numbers? Okay, problem है ना कि convince करना जो पढ़ा रहा हूँ वो important है. I have to show you the questions asked and how you must read. Okay, so Mumbai coast and Konkan coast have hardly any idea of extremes. Why? Because they are coastal locations. Delhi, Kanpur, Amritsar, etc. Okay, fine. Altitude is also a factor. Temperature decreases the height due to thin air. Places in mountains are cooler than the places on the plains. For example, Agra, Darjeeling, located on the same latitude, Okay, आगरा जनवरी में 16 है, दार्जिलिंग जनवरी में 4 है. जितना भी डेटा बुक में लिखा हुआ है ना, you remember that please. You have an idea now. Darjeeling in the winters can be 4, Agra in the winters can be 16 degrees centigrade. ठीक है? The effect of relief, mountain orientation. So physiography or relief affects temperature, air pressure, direction of the winds, amount of rainfall distribution. The windward sides of Western Ghats and Assam receive heavy rainfall. So the heavy rainfall of Western coastal plains, the heavy rainfall of Assam is because of the mountain orientation. Okay, and therefore June, September, whereas southern plateau remains dry due to the leeward effect along the Western Ghats. So if you're looking at the map here, okay, so we have, look at this map here. Look at this map here. So this is the Western Ghats approximately, ऐसे है Western Ghats. The Western Ghats here. Okay. So the coastal areas of Ghats, they receive heavy rainfall. Interiors of plateau, ये वाला part बन जाएगा यहाँ पर. This plateau part has rainfall less than 60 centimeters. Okay, Chennai cannot be 60. This is 60 centimeters. Parts of Rayalaseema, parts of Raichur region, parts of Vidarbha region, ये सब rainfall. Why? Because the mountains are blocking the winds from coming inside the plateau interiors. ठीक है? So an idea about how the relief impacts the rainfall patterns. तो बताया था आपको मैंने यहाँ पर that there are two factors it says. One is the factors of location relief. The second is air pressure and winds. So the next section it says factors related to air pressure and winds. Okay. So to understand difference of local climates, we need to understand following. The distribution of air pressure and winds on the surface of the earth. Surface में क्या pressure patterns हैं, क्या temperature है, you must know that. Second, you must know upper air circulations caused by factors controlling global weather and inflow of different air masses and jet streams. So upper air condition also is important. Okay, and inflow of western cyclones, generally known as disturbances during winter seasons, and the tropical depression during the southwest monsoon seasons. Essentially, you have got surface winds, upper tropospheric conditions, and cyclonic factors. Cyclones impact coasts and also parts of Himalayas. Western cyclones, known as western disturbances in the winters, and we have tropical depressions during the southwest monsoon period. So these are the three: winds, okay, pressure patterns, and the conditions related to surface and upper tropospheric circulations. The depression जो बोला है ये low pressure systems हैं, okay, the air pressure and winds. So these depression cyclones are low pressure systems. Okay, so 1 and 2 are about winds, the third is about the pressure patterns. ठीक है? ये फंस गया है. But Chennai annual range cannot be so less because it's near the sea. Yes, you are right. Okay, Allahabad looks like the more probable answer. Okay, so fine, you got a sense of what can be asked. Okay, अब आगे दिखाएंगे, don't worry, I'll show more questions to you. It always amazes me, always. इतना बड़ा examination prepare कर रहे हो, how can you not see what questions have been asked till now? People say they are preparing PYQs, but they can't recognize the PYQ when I give them. And for some of you have seen, मैंने बोला भी है कि मैं PYQ से ही पूछूंगा. And when I give the test, you know what you score. Basically, PYQ solving अपने आप में एक skill है. Okay, so we'll come back on that. No worries. No worries, we'll come back. Okay, now the mechanism. Mechanism of weather in the winter season. Okay, so these 2 pages are very important pages, 2-3 pages. In fact, optional guys can literally copy this paragraph in your answers. Okay, the mechanism of weather in the winter season. So what is the surface pressure and the winds? It says, in the winters, the weather conditions over India are generally influenced by the distribution of pressure in Central and Western Asia. What is the main control of the weather conditions in the winters? It is the pressure conditions in Central and Western Asia, West Asia. A high pressure center is in the region lying to north of Himalayas, develops during the winters. So what happens? This is India here, okay, and beyond this is the Central Asia, ऊपर आ जाता है. यहाँ पर पाकिस्तान, या होगा ताजिकिस्तान, इसके ऊपर में उज़्बेकिस्तान, Afghanistan here, Tibet here. So north of India, somewhere here, you have a very strong cold conditions. This is because of the interiors of the continent. Okay, so north of India, beyond Himalayas, it says, beyond Himalayas, okay, we have a very high pressure center in a region lying north of Himalayas in the winter. Thus now see, high pressure का मतलब क्या है? It is cyclone or anticyclone. High pressure मतलब क्या? It is anticyclone. Anticyclone winds are moving out. Okay, the winds will sink and the winds will move out. Okay, so this is a high pressure area. High pressure में क्या होता है? Winds are sinking and the winds are moving out. Winds are sinking, winds are moving out. Okay, so if you look at the map of India, if this is India, Tibet here, Himalayas here, so this area has developed a high pressure. From this, the winds are moving out, the winds are moving out, the winds move out from here. Yes, the Himalayas do block, but ऐसा नहीं है कि no wind can come. Okay, winds, Himalayas, highest is 9 kilometers. On average, Himalayas is 4, 5, 6 kilometers. Okay, so this high pressure will impact some conditions here. Okay, back to your textbook. This center of high pressure gives rise to flow of air at low level from the north towards Indian continent. Okay, south of the mountain range, the surface winds blowing out of the high pressure center or Central Asia reach India in the form of dry continental air mass. So the air coming from this side, though Himalayas do block the bulk, but फिर भी India is under the influence of the cold continental air mass. This is a cold continental air mass. Optional guys will know this is what's called as continental polar air mass or the Siberian air mass. The Siberian air mass is impacting the weather conditions of India. Okay, so back to your notes here. There's a surface winds blowing out of high pressure center of Central Asia. They reach India in the form of their dry and the continental air mass. Okay, and these winds come in contact with the trade winds over northwest India. Now what's here? Over India, otherwise, remember we have got northeastern trades here, northeast trades here. Okay, the trade winds are here. What I'm saying, what he's saying is, these cold winds coming from the north, they come and also meet these winds somewhere in this part. There are gaps in the mountains. Himalayas high kahan par hai? Is Himalayas high on the western side or in the eastern side? Kahan par hai? Where is Himalayas higher? Himalayas are higher on the eastern side. Okay, so yahan se jo air aa raha hai, this one will block largely. Some of it can merge with the trade winds on the western side yahan par. That's one reason why northwestern India becomes a bit more colder. Okay, back to your textbook here. दोबारा पढ़ा रहे हैं आपको हम यहाँ पर. It says that the surface winds blowing out of high pressure centers over Central Asia reach India in the form of dry continental air mass, and these continental winds come in contact with the trade winds over northwestern India. Take all of you. Okay. Then it says, देखो, most of these they come in contact here. But ऐसा नहीं है कि this wind can't cross at all. Sometimes they also cross here and they can meet the trade winds even in this part. यहाँ भी मिल सकते हैं ये लोग. That's how the cold wave comes into India. Bulk of India cold condition इधर होता है. But sometimes the cold wave can also come towards the eastern India also. See what your textbook says? It says, this position of contact, it may shift positions as far as east as Middle Ganga Valley, with the result that the whole of northwestern and northern India up to Middle Ganga Valley comes under influence of dry northwestern, okay, winds. So what is the reason for the cold conditions of northern plains? Your textbook NCERT explains a bit different way. The cold conditions are the consequence of impact of the continental air mass coming from Central Asia. This air mass can mix with the trade winds largely in the northwestern India, but sometimes it also influences parts of Middle Ganga plains. So parts of Lucknow, parts of Gomti basin, parts of Ghagra basin, okay, as far as sometimes okay, the central UP, wahan par bhi you will have impact of the cold waves. Take all of you. Where did I keep the pencil? Oh, gir gaya. Okay, back. This is about the surface winds. Direction of the winds, they blow south of Himalayas. Yeah, they move out from the Central Asia. They move out in all directions. Okay, but because Himalayas are not as high in the western side, okay, that's why that winds can mix with the trade winds a bit more. ये सारे NCERT, oh yes, you have a problem of new and old NCERT. Okay, this NCERT book is not what we wanted. I don't know what NCERT you have. इसमें नहीं है, पूरे पैसे नहीं दोगे तो कैसे मिलेगा? Okay, डबल दे दिया, अच्छा ठीक है. Yeah, the government has modified some of this. कोई बात नहीं. Okay, you can look at this NCERT बाद में. आपके बुक्स में है कि नहीं ये वाला पार्ट? Okay, ठीक है. So it tells us some of you started the preparation a bit late. Don't get defensive. ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं. मजाक ही कर रहे हैं यार. दिल पे क्यों ले रहे हो? Let's move on. Okay, jet stream and upper air circulations. Jet stream and upper air circulations. Okay, so the pattern of air circulation discussed above is witnessed only at the lower level. ये surface winds बता रहे थे. Higher up मतलब कितना high? Higher up in the lower troposphere, okay, about 3 kilometers above the surface of Earth, a different pattern of air circulation observed. The variations in the pressure closer to surface of the Earth has no role to play in making of the upper air circulation. ये sentences में आप फंस जाओगे. Which of the following statement is correct? Okay, सीधा ये उठा के पूछ देगा. And we have been taught कोई भी extreme पूछेगा वो wrong होता है. Okay, but this statement is extreme statement. It says that okay, that the pressure closer to surface of the Earth has no role to play in the making of the upper air circulation. ठीक है? So if you too much of optional knowledge, इसमें आप wrong कर दोगे. NCERT level पे ये correct है. NCERT में जो भी है, we take it as gospel truth. ठीक है? All Western and Central Asia remains under the influence of westerly winds at altitude of 9 to 13 kilometers from the west to the east. तो यहाँ पर diagram लिखा हुआ है, बना हुआ है नीचे. Okay, the part Central Asia here. Okay, so there is a wind coming from the west towards the east. It's called as the westerly jet stream. And this jet stream is at a height of 9 to 13 kilometers, okay, from the surface of the Earth. It says the all of Western and Central Asia is under the influence of westerly winds along the altitude 930 kilometers. Fine. These winds blow across Asian continent at latitudes north of Himalayas, okay, and roughly parallel to the Tibetan highlands. This is the Tibetan highlands here. Okay, इसी के along ये चल रहा है. So what happens is the Tibetan highlands, they're called as jet streams. They're called jet streams. The Tibetan highlands act as barrier in the path of jet streams. As a result, the jet stream gets bifurcated. I think all of us know this concept. Okay, so we have Himalayas, we have the Tibetan plateau here, and then we have this jet stream coming. As it comes here, the Himalayas and Tibet act as barriers, and the jet stream gets bifurcated. It gets divided into two branches, one in the north and one in the south. Okay, so jet stream, this is the westerly, okay, jet stream. This is Tibet, and this is the Himalayan mountains. Tibet and Himalayan mountains. The jet stream gets bifurcated. Okay? So back to your textbook here. Bifurcated. One of its branch blows to north of the Tibetan highlands, while the southern branch blows in the eastward direction south of Himalayas. And its mean position is at around 25 degree north in February at 200-300 millibar level. ये facts ना आपको याद करना पड़ेगा. 25 degrees इंडिया का कहां पर approximately? So the Tropic of Cancer is here. ये है Tropic of Cancer. Tropic of Cancer is 23.5. Correct? So by that logic, somewhere here होगा यहाँ पर. देखिए यहाँ पर लिखा है 28 लिखा हुआ है. Okay, somewhere here. So this jet stream is at this. So around Jaipur, Lucknow, Patna, इस area में Northern Plains के इस location में है jet stream. At a height of, okay, it says in terms of pressure, the height of pressure is 200-300 millibar level. What is the pressure at the sea level? Anybody? Very high. How high, sir? Very high. 1013 millibars, correct. Approximately 1000 millibars is the pressure at the sea level. As you rise up, the pressure starts falling. So when it says this ka matlab hai, it is at a height where the pressure is, okay, 200 to 300 millibar level. Is it okay, all of you? Approximately 1/5 of the surface pressure. So this height is approximately 9 to 13 kilometers. तो ये facts ना आपको याद रखना पड़ेगा. Where is the, okay, the branch of, the southern branch of the stream? Okay. It is believed that this southern branch of the jet stream exercises an important influence on the weather in India. The southern branch of the jet stream has a very strong influence on the weather of India. Yes, Amrit, Kaushik, isn't Himalayas height less than the height of jet stream? You are right, Himalaya उतना high नहीं है. तो क्या question है? मुझे पता है आप क्या पूछने वाले हो. To know the answer of that, join the geography course again if you have not joined. Okay. NCERT में सारा हम कहानी नहीं बताएंगे. Okay. एक तो मुफ्त सुन रहे हो, पैसे भी नहीं मिल रहे मुझे. Okay. And सारा ज्ञान जानना है. आप रट्टा मारो अमृत कौशिक. Even if Himalayas are not as high, they are capable of bifurcation. जाको राखो साइयां. Okay. Yes. God wills, सब हो जाएगा. Come back. इसका आंसर है लेकिन नहीं बताऊंगा. आगे बढ़ो. Western cyclonic disturbance and tropical cyclones. So the western cyclone disturbances enter in subcontinent from the west and the northwest during the winter months. Okay. Oh, and they originate over the Mediterranean Sea. I think most of us know this. The stream, while coming from the Mediterranean Sea, it brings some moistures. Okay. It says, okay, an increase in the prevailing night temperature indicates the advance in the arrival of these cyclonic disturbances. Yes, some facts can be asked. Okay. The western disturbances are in the winters. Western disturbances linked to the westerly jet stream. The western disturbances are cyclones that pick up moisture from Mediterranean Sea, and they occur when the temperatures in the previous nights become higher. So अगर winters में आज गर्मी लग रही है, next day in all probability or a few days later it will rain. Okay. So an increase in the prevailing night temperatures indicates an advance in the arrival of these cyclonic disturbances. So what type of rainfall are western disturbances? They are cyclonic rainfalls. Okay, what type of rainfall is western disturbance? It is a cyclonic rainfall. But for geography option, you understand, it is a temperate cyclone, not a tropical cyclone. Okay? So they are cyclonic. It says the western cyclonic disturbances hai. It says it is a western cyclone. So most of us cyclone सुनते ही we imagine the cyclones of Bay of Bengal. ये वैसा cyclone, ये अलग type का cyclone है. They are cyclone rainfalls, yes. They don't impact, right? आप latitude देखो, किस latitude में है, and those mountains are also east-west. Okay, so they move parallel to that. उसके north में क्या होता होगा, I don't care about it, but they can come and they can strike India. ठीक है? Okay, so cyclone rainfall is the important keyword. Underline that word. Okay, cyclonic. And apart from this, we also have tropical cyclones originate over Bay of Bengal. Winters में tropical cyclones होते हैं. Okay, and these tropical cyclones have very high wind velocity and heavy rainfall. They hit Tamil Nadu coast, Andhra coast, Odisha coast. Most of these cyclones are very destructive, high wind velocity and rainfall and so on. So winters mein, what is the surface wind? It is the continental air mass of Central Asia, okay, that interacts with the trade winds. What is the upper tropospheric wind? It is a westerly jet stream. Okay. The consequence of this, India is cold and India has rainfall. Rainfall because of temperate cyclones in the northern part and the rainfall because of tropical cyclones along the eastern coast of India. But India, they do precipitate because of orographic. Yes, Nidhi, you're right. So, but the genesis of those systems are temperate cyclones. दोनों लिखोगे आप. Temperate cyclones आ रहा है and the mountains can block it. The genesis of the winds is cyclonic. But when they hit the Himalayas, they cause rain. So orographic effect भी है. So अगर choice से पूछेगा, you mark the western disturbances as okay, cyclones. ठीक है. So you got the sense of winter climate. Now come to the mechanism of the summer season. Mechanism of weather in the summer season. Start off. As the summer sets in, the sun shifts northwards, the wind circulation over the subcontinent undergoes a complete reversal, both at the lower level as well as the upper level. There's some change there. Okay. Upper level mein, the westerly jet stream gets replaced by, you all know about the tropical easterly jet stream. So we have got reversal both at surface, also in the aloft conditions. By middle of July, the low pressure belt near the surface, termed as Intertropical Convergence Zone, ITCZ, it shifts northwards and roughly parallel to Himalayas between 20 and 25 degrees north. So ये जो ITCZ है, कहाँ होता है? You have now seen this. Okay, this is the 25 degrees यहाँ पर. This is the 25 degrees here. And this is 23 degrees here. The ITCZ is in this range generally. Okay, 20-25 degrees north latitudes mein the ITCZ sets in here. ठीक है? Come back, I repeat. Okay, by middle July, the low pressure belt near the surface, termed as ITCZ, shifts northwards, roughly parallel to the Himalayas, between 20 degree north and 25 degree north. By this time, the westerly jet stream withdraws from the Indian region. Okay, so this is the position in the winters. Winters में ये position है. When the summers come, what happens is, this is a Tibetan plateau here, Himalayas here. The jet stream, rather than being here, it has now come here. And here it moves straight like this without any bifurcation. So this jet stream has moved northwards. It has shifted northwards. And the southern branch जो यहाँ पर हुआ करता था, it has withdrawn and gone north. Okay. As the sun moves north and south, the pressure belts and winds also move north and south. ठीक है? दोबारा यहाँ पर आओ. By this time, the westerly jet stream withdraws from the Indian region. In fact, meteorologists have found there is an interrelationship between the northward shift of the equatorial trough and the withdrawal of the westerly jet stream from over the northern plains. Okay, the relationship as the ITCZ, yeah, ITCZ hai. As the ITCZ is moving northwards, when it comes very close to northern plains yahan par, okay, at that time this also shifts northwards. So this position of the ITCZ, it has some relationship with ये surface पे, remember this, ये surface condition है, ये surface condition है. This is conditions in the upper troposphere at height of 9 to 13 kilometers at a millibar pressure of 200-300 millibar pressure. Then the surface, when the ITCZ starts moving northwards, upper tropospheric winds also will move northwards. Okay? I repeat again. I repeat. It says there's a relationship between the northward shift of the equatorial trough. इसी को बोलते हैं ITCZ. आगे बताएगा इसको monsoon trough भी बोलते हैं. Trough means what? Low. Okay. Crest is high. Ridge is high. If you look at the pressure patterns, okay, this, okay, say low pressure, high pressure, low pressure, high pressure. नीचे आ गया, इसको बोलते हैं trough. ऊपर है, इसको बोलते हैं ridge. So ridge means high pressure, trough means low pressure. Okay, so ITCZ is an example of a trough, a low pressure. ठीक है? Then it says it is generally believed that there is a cause-effect relationship between the two. The ITCZ, being a zone of low pressure, attracts inflow winds from different directions and so on. Okay, so as ITCZ moves northward, okay, ये cause हो गया. The effect is the jet stream moves further northwards. The cause-effect relationship between the surface conditions and the upper tropospheric conditions. This idea militates with, जो पहले बता दिया, there's no role of surface conditions for the upper tropospheric winds. बताया आपको? तो अब क्या लिखोगे अगर ये क्वेश्चन पूछ दिया, is it right or wrong? यहाँ लिखा ना, the variations of pressure close to surface has no role to play in making of upper air circulation. Okay, so this is right, but यहाँ पर तो sentence लग रहा है contradictory, right? There's the cause effect. So अगर ये sentence दिया, आप इसको मानोगे right. Don't use too much of logic and say that अरे वहाँ तो ऐसे होता है. So the sentences taken from the NCERTs, as I said, is a gospel truth. Although in this part it says there is a cause-effect relationship, but the previous sentence says there is absolutely no relationship. You remember both the sentences. They do precipitate due to orographic effect. Okay, I think I've answered your questions. It's also called as monsoon trough. Correct. Okay, let's move on now. In general, okay, the ITCZ brings a zone of low pressure, attracts inflow of winds from different directions. The maritime tropical air mass from the southern hemisphere, after crossing the equator, rushes towards the low pressure area in the southwest direction and southwest monsoon. Okay, so what we're saying is that this is India like this. The ITCZ is located somewhere here like this. Okay, and it says there are winds here which are coming like this. So this winds को okay बोल रहा है, it's like an air mass. It's like a maritime air mass. Okay, it is moist and warm air mass, and this air mass starts moving because this is a low pressure. It moves and enters India, and air mass enters from the southwest region and is called as southwest monsoon winds. The choice of words are different here, but कह वही रहे. Okay, check up the sentence again. What it says? It says the ITCZ, being a zone of low pressure, attracts the inflow of winds from different directions. The maritime tropical air mass from southern hemisphere, after crossing equator, rushes to the low pressure area in the general southwesterly direction. It is this moist current, air current, which is popularly known as the southwest monsoon winds. Is it okay, all of you? Have a sense now? Okay. Now, what about the jet streams and the upper tropospheric winds in the summers? So, summers mein to the westerly jet stream is gone. It has gone beyond Himalayas. So, India mein kya hai? And then it says, The pattern of pressure and the winds as mentioned above is formed at the level of troposphere. ये ऊपर बताया ये नीचे हो रहा है. And easterly jet stream blows over the southern part of peninsula in June and has a speed of 90 kilometers. It's confined to 15-degree north latitude, and in September it's up to 22 degrees north latitudes. The easterlies do not extend to north of 30 latitudes in the upper atmosphere. You have an idea about India's latitudes, okay? Okay, इसी में दिखा देते हैं आपको. India's latitude देखो. Okay, the southern latitudes जो है approximately around 8 degrees होगा ये वाला. Okay, 8, 9, 10 degrees. It says 8 here. Okay, the Nicobar Islands are as south as 6 degree 36 minutes. और नीचे है. Okay, this is 8 degrees here. ठीक है. And this is around 23 and a half, ये बताया 23 and a half यहाँ पर है. 15 degrees is around Mumbai. Mumbai is 15 degrees. Okay. And around you can say Chandigarh, Punjab, this is around 30 degrees यहाँ पर. ठीक है. तो जो jet stream है, उसका लोकेशन कहाँ होता है? It never goes beyond 30 degrees north. It is generally at around 15 degrees. यहाँ पर होता है. It's generally around this part here. 15 degrees north. Sometimes it can shift towards 20 degrees also. So the jet stream, okay, is in this region of India. Is it okay, all of you? वापस पढ़ो. Okay. In August, it is confined to 15 degrees. ये मुंबई वाला region है. In September, okay, up to 22 degrees north latitudes. The easterlies normally do not extend to north of 30 degrees latitude in the upper atmosphere. ये fact आप याद रखना. ठीक है. So where? So आपके diagram में यहाँ बना हुआ है. Watch here. This is the direction of the easterly jet stream. It is, यही मुंबई है ना यहाँ पर, मुंबई यहाँ पर है. It is in this region generally. It does not cross, okay, north of 30 degrees. Summers में the jet stream is here. In the summers, the stream is here. The vessel jet stream north of India यहाँ पर है. Sorry. In the winters, it is here. In the summers, you have another one coming from east towards the west. That's why it says both the surface winds and the upper tropospheric winds both are reversing. Winters में westerly winds in the upper troposphere. Summers में it is the easterly winds in the upper troposphere. ठीक है? Now a bit more about the jet stream here. It says the easterly jet stream steers the tropical depressions in India. Now see, I want you to be careful about this word depressions. Okay. Depression is a low pressure, but it is not as low as a tropical cyclone. Remember this. No, देखो, as a layman, at a very initial level में हम ये बोल देते हैं, okay, that this is India. This is India, and the winds come like this. The wind comes like this. And the winds come, they cause rainfall. ठीक है? Reality में, it's not as simple as this. ये winds के साथ में, there are small low pressures. वो cyclones नहीं है. There is a low pressure. The Bay of Bengal has a lot of such low pressures. There are some low pressures here also. So what causes rainfall, okay, actually is the winds carrying the low pressure with them. And okay, that's why, okay, the rains over India are not continuous. ऐसा थोड़ी है कि after में it's raining every day. ऐसा होता है क्या? It rains 2, 3, 4 hours, becomes dry. It again rains maybe one day, okay, again dry for 1 or 2 days. Again it rains maybe for 2 days, then dry for 6, 7 days. Which means what? The rain is coming, not continuous rainfall नहीं हो रहा है. there are spells of rainfall. Why? Because this depression can bring one spell of rainfall. This depression can bring one more spell of rainfall. The spell has gone, एक और spell यहाँ से आ रहा है. When this comes in, again we have rainfall. This is different from a proper large tropical cyclone, which can be devastating. Yahi small depressions can develop into a cyclone eventually. It's like, a small puncture, okay, on my palm, I have got one drop of blood. The punctures, if they become very, very large, it becomes a large wound. Okay, so see these depressions as those small punctures of depression. Okay, so back to your textbook. Yes. Bolo. In the 4.3, okay. Because of the mountains there. एकदम ऊपर जो दिखा रहा है वो वेस्टर्ली जेट स्ट्रीम है. जो जेट स्ट्रीम जो ऊपर चला गया वही दिखा रहा है ऊपर में. बाकी जो आ रहा है विंड्स, ओके, मेन जेट स्ट्रीम नीचे है, उसके कुछ ब्रांचेस ऊपर होंगे. यस. What coming? From which region? That's a bad question. Because the genesis of the jet stream is the Tibetan low pressure. The Tibetan low pressure, rising, it deflects. Okay. So don't say it's coming from Shanghai. That's the wrong idea. Essentially what's happening is, okay, this this Tibet becomes very hot, air rising, and this one turns like this. Keep this version. Yeah. There was one theory that says that it goes towards mascarene. Okay, this is what the old notes have been saying. Okay, now it's almost confirmed it is something like this. So till 2 or 3 batches ago, I would teach that also. But I'm sticking to this version now. Most of the recent books talk about this. ठीक है? क्या है? Doubts? Online guys. Easterly, westerly jet streams operate alternate between summer and winters. What is their effect in either seasons? Batula, you don't seem to have taken admission in my course. Okay, that is why you're asking, why are they not permanent? Good question. I have a great answer, but not now. Okay, NCERT में रट्टा मारेंगे आप. ठीक है? So you are thinking nice, but अभी इतना ही रखेंगे. Why are they not permanent and why their seasons? Okay, so GS discussion में इतना ही मिलेगा. But it's a valid question here. Okay, back. But I can't enter that depth in such a small time that we have. Okay, let's finish off whatever we can. ये 2-3 पेज हो जाएगा. I am happy with the coverage then. Okay, the easterly jet stream steers. This was the important point. It steers the tropical depressions into India, and these depressions play a significant role in distribution of monsoon rainfall over the subcontinent. The tracks of the depressions are the areas of the highest, heaviest rainfall in India. The frequency at which the depressions in India, and so on. Okay, so these small low pressures, they are the ones that cause rainfall in India, and they're dragged by the winds and the easterly jet stream over India. ठीक है? This is the mechanism of the rains. तो अगर question पूछा GS में हो या फिर optional में हो, if they ask you what's the mechanism of the rainfall, आप यही लिख के आओगे. Mechanism of winter rainfall, mechanism of summer rainfall. Even optional guys is a bana answer है, with diagrams, with discussions. You are home here. You will ask me, sir, मैं क्या theory लिखूंगा? Actually, this is part of 2 theories. The Tibetan plateau theory of Kutishwaran and the Yin's theory of jet streams. ये दोनों मिला के ये theory है. Okay. The nature of Indian monsoon. Monsoon is familiar, fine. Okay. So, nature includes, the important aspects are, the onset of monsoon is important in nature, and the onset is sudden onset. Okay. Rain-bearing systems and relationship between frequency and distribution of rainfall. The nature includes the rainfall distribution, and important is also break of monsoon. Break of monsoon are the dry spells. लिखो वहीं पर. There are dry spells in the rainy season. The onset, it is a sudden onset. It's also called as monsoon burst. It's also called monsoon burst. And the rain-bearing systems, the Bay of Bengal branch, Arabian Sea branch, how they bring rainfall, these three are important part of nature of Indian monsoons. Okay. Many attempts have been made to discover the exact nature and cause of monsoon. No single theory can explain monsoon fully. The real breakthrough happened recently, whatever, and this real breakthrough happened because of the Monex expedition, the Kutishwaran. Okay, I think some of you know this, right? Kutishwaran's theory that explained the role of Tibetan plateau. That explained many things along with the string theory. Okay, so let's just talk about the onset of the monsoon. Towards the end of 19th century, it was believed that the differential heating of land and sea during summer month is the mechanism which set the stage for the monsoon winds. In your notebooks, this is the thermal theory. Why do winds come towards India and why the reverse? They thought it was land and sea breeze. Okay, it's because of the differential heating of land and sea. Okay, during April, May, when the sun shines vertically over Tropic of Cancer, the land gets very hot. You understand this part, okay? The old theory tha. Okay. Okay. Now, next page 38 mein aa jao. The southwest monsoon thus may be seen as the continuation of the southeast trades deflected towards Indian subcontinent after crossing equator. And these winds cross the equator around 40 degrees to 60 degree east longitude. Look at the board, all of you. So this is African coast. That's Arabia, Iran, Pakistan, and that's India. Okay, so this is approximately the equator. That's equator. So what is happening is, so we have the southeast trade winds. We have the southeast trade winds. We have the ITCZ somewhere here. Okay, at around 25 degrees mein, ye ITCZ hai. These southeast trade winds, they cross equator and they will deflect towards India. They cross equator because of Coriolis, they turn rightwards, तो ऐसे घूम जाएंगे, they ऐसे घूम जाएंगे. Much of what comes over India, it says, okay, so approximately ये जो है ना, this is 40 degree east latitude, and somewhere here it is 60 degree east latitudes. The turning of the, जो India में आ रहे हैं ना, the bulk of the turning is actually happening, okay, here. ये वाला आ रहा है. It's coming, ये वाला आ रहा है. Coming towards India. Is it okay? So the southeast trade winds. So the southwest monsoons are extensions of the southeast trades that cross equator and deflect towards India between 40 degree east and 60 degree east longitude. समझ में आया all of you? इंडिया के ऊपर में कौन सा longitude है? 83.5 या 60? Okay. Which latitude over India? 83.5. This is a time reference के लिए तो है आपका. Okay. Take all of you. So, 82.5, correct. 82.5 is the reference for India, correct? So if you move eastwards, it is 40 and 60. Dobara padho. The southwest monsoon thus is a continuation of the southeast trades deflected towards the Indian subcontinent after crossing equator. These winds cross equator between 40° east and 60° east longitude. Ab samajh mein aa gaya all of you here? All of these are facts to be asked in your prelims. The shift in the position of ITCZ is also related to the phenomena of withdrawal of westerly jet stream from its position over northern Indian plains and south of Himalayas. ये जो हो रहा है, this thing coming here because of the ITCZ coming at this position. Okay, इसी के साथ क्या होता है? You remember there was the southern branch here. Southern branch has now gone further northwards. So ये सब साथ हो रहा है. This is coming north. This has gone towards further north, and this pulls the winds towards India. Okay, so the ITCZ is related to the northward migration of the westerly jet stream. Okay, back to your textbook. I'm reading again. The shift in the position of ITCZ is also related to the phenomena of the withdrawal of westerly jet stream from its position over the North Indian plains and south of Himalayas. The easterly jet stream sets in along 15° north latitude only after the western jet stream has withdrawn itself from the region. Okay, so this has come here, this has gone northward, और इसी के साथ में, okay, you have a jet stream, okay, along a 15° north here. This is the easterly jet stream. Okay, so 4 things together. The ITCZ sets here, the westerly jet stream goes northwards, the ITCZ pulls the winds towards India, इसी के साथ में the tropical easterly jet stream is over 15° north latitude over India. So all of this coincides, and that's how we have the rains over India. Okay, इसका काम क्या होता है? इसका काम होता है to bring the depressions towards the eastern side of India. Okay, so back to your textbook here. इसी के साथ the easterly jet stream sets in along 15° north latitude only after the western jet stream has withdrawn itself from the region. This easterly jet stream is responsible for the burst of the monsoon in India. So which jet stream is responsible for the burst? Don't say the westerly jet stream. It's actually the eastern jet stream along with the ITCZ that's setting over Indian plains and the northward migration of the westerly jet stream. We had some questions in your practice test also around this. Okay, आपका choice था westerly one, वो responsible नहीं है. Its withdrawal is responsible for the burst of the monsoons. ठीक है, all done here? Each of this, ना आपको करना क्या? while reading, you write down here as P. P as in prelims का ये question बनता है. P, a prelims question here. This also is P, a prelims question here, कि कहाँ turning होती है. Okay. Then you have maybe what we discussed here. Okay, they carry depressions, again P. So जहाँ पर prelims लगता है, they can ask you. You mention that, this is a possible question. Revise only those points a bit more carefully again. Okay, come back. You have done the entry of monsoon कब है? The southwest monsoon winds sets over the Kerala coast by 1st of June. Moves swiftly to reach Mumbai and Kolkata between 10th and 13th June. By mid-July, the southwest monsoon engulfs the entire, ये भी P है. By when does the monsoon engulf the entire country? By around mid-July. ये diagram यहाँ बना हुआ है, the onset कब होता है. Okay, by 15 July, okay, it has covered entire India. It enters India here on 1st of June. 1st of June, late May. And then it progresses gradually. The northwestern India receives the rains last. Page number 39 में the map that we have been discussing. Now come next one, the rain-bearing winds, rain-bearing systems and rainfall distribution. You made a mistake in the practice questions, fine. NCERTs wale hi hain. You revise it this way. Online, are you all able to keep pace with me? I'm not giving notes. I'm reading from the book and discussing it while I'm reading from the books. Online, on the YouTube, on the dashboard, are you all maintaining pace with me? And what I'm drawing on the board, if you have a small page side में बनाकर इसी page के साथ staple कर देना. You don't need separate notes for this. Yeah? What I'm sketching, you also sketch whatever side में sketch कर लो जो भी जगह है आपके पास. Shaila Yadav, Kappa 97, Kirti Yadav, okay, Adarsh. So you all keeping pace. ठीक है. Have a problem, let me know. If you have any doubts to clarify, I'll explain. Let's start off the next section now. The rain-bearing systems and rainfall distribution. There seem to be two rain-bearing systems in India. The first originates in the Bay of Bengal, causing rainfall over the plains of North India. Second is the Arabian Sea current of southwest monsoon. It brings rains to the west coast of India. Much of the rainfall along the Western Ghat is orographic, okay, as the moist air is obstructed and forced rise along the coast. The intensity of rainfall over west coast of India is, however, due to two factors. One is the offshore meteorological conditions. Second is the position of the equatorial jet stream along the eastern coast of Africa, जो हम जानते हैं as Somali jet stream. ये एक और jet stream है. There's one more jet stream called as the Somali jet stream. So what are the factors that are related to the rainfall intensity along the west coast? Okay, ये prelims question बन गया. The intensity of rains over the west coast of India, not entire India. For the west coast of India, what are the offshore meteorological conditions? क्या temperature है, क्या pressure है on Arabian Sea matters. Plus the position of an equatorial jet stream over the east coast of Africa. In optional, we call this as the Somali jet stream. Okay, so there is a jet stream. So that's Africa. That's India here. So here you have a jet stream like this at a very less altitude. ये बहुत high नहीं है. Okay, it's at an altitude of approximately 2-3 kilometers में ही है. It's also as less as 1.6 kilometers also. It is not a surface wind. We call this as the Somali jet stream. The Somali jet stream, along with what are the conditions of the water here, they decide what type of rainfall I will have along the west coast of India. ठीक है? The Somali jet stream. It originates from Madagascar region. यहाँ से शुरू होता है, Madagascar के यहाँ शुरू होता है, and then it turns and deflects like this, called as Somali jet stream. इसका भी role है in the rain distribution pattern over India. So three jet streams are playing a role. The westerly jet stream, the tropical easterly jet stream, and this equatorial jet stream called as the Somali jet stream. Back to your notes. Next page. इसमें एक box है El Nino. We'll come back if we have time on this. Next page. Okay. The frequency of the tropical depressions originating from Bay of Bengal varies from year to year. बताया ना, rainfall जो होता है, it's actually because of the small low pressure cells. Not tropical cyclones नहीं है. And these depressions vary from year to year. The path over India are mainly determined by the position of IDCZ, which is generally termed as the monsoon trough. In which direction they will move? It is dependent on the IDCZ. As the axis of the monsoon trough oscillates, okay, This is the ITCZ. Yeah, ITCZ. Okay. Yeah, ITCZ है. And lot of winds are coming towards India, and these winds are carrying with them lot of small depressions. The ITCZ attracts them towards India, and they cause rains. If the ITCZ starts moving north and south like this, okay, तो यहाँ पर है, I'll have rains here. But think of if this one comes down, यहाँ आ गया, then the rains will not reach this part anymore. Okay, so the ITCZ oscillates north and south, and that can impact till what the limit the depressions are entering over India. Okay, so back again, it says the path over India are mainly determined by path of what? Of the tropical depressions, determined by the position of ITCZ, which is generally termed as monsoon trough. As the axis of the monsoon trough oscillates, there are fluctuations in the track and the direction of these depressions, and the intensity of and the amount of rainfall vary from year to year. One good discussion on why do we have rainfall variations in India? One reason why does India have rainfall variability? One is the behavior of the ITCZ. It says the rains which comes in spells. Ab samajh mein aaya why I'm saying spells? The rain is not a continuous rainfall for 3-4 months. It happens in spells. The rain which come in spells display a declining trend from west towards east over west coast. If I go from the west coast, okay, so on this side, it is declining from west towards east, okay, and from the southeast towards the northwest. So rainfall decrease from west towards east, heavy rain here, less here, and again rainfall also decrease from southeast towards northwest. Okay? So if you look at the pattern of rainfall, okay, so the pattern of rainfall reduces from west towards east. It also reduces from southeast towards the northwest, because the winds towards India come like this, and the wind towards India, they come like this. This is the Arabian Sea branch, this is the Bay of Bengal branch. Okay? So back again to your notes or to the textbook here. The rain which comes in spells, displays a declining trend from west towards east over the west coast, and from southeast towards northwest over the northern Indian plains and northern part of the peninsula. What is the pattern of rainfall variations from the coast? खैर अब तो it's a much more easier question here. ये देखो 2005 में पूछा हुआ क्वेश्चन है, which of the following the correct sequence of Indian cities in the decreasing order of the normal annual rainfall? Okay, Kochi, Kolkata, Delhi, Patna. Kolkata, Kochi, Patna, Delhi. Kochi, Kolkata, and so on. So as you move westwards, okay, the least rainfall BB में Delhi होगा, Kolkata or Kochi. Okay, so Kochi, Kolkata, Patna, and yes. ठीक है? These type of questions are very simple once you know the basic mechanisms. Then you are on. Yeah, all fine? This was a question in 2005. Guys, all of you, I have put all these questions on our platforms. Okay, and the questions are thematic based. So you go to the platform, you look for climate of India, you have all the questions of last 45 years. कुल मिला के 35 questions हैं. You do that much, climate of India is done. And make notes on what you're learning from the questions. ठीक है? Okay, let's move on. This is directly from this pattern. Okay, let's talk about the break in the monsoons. Break का मतलब क्या है? देखो, it says during the southwest monsoon, after having rains for a few days, if rain fails to occur for 1 or more weeks, it's called as break in the monsoons. These dry spells are quite common during the rainy season. The breaks are due to, okay, if northern India rains are likely to fail if the rain-bearing storms are not very frequent along the monsoon trough or the ITCZ. Depressions होते हैं, वो कम हो जाते हैं. Okay, so then I can have, so this rain-bearing storms essentially are those depressions from Bay of Bengal. Second is, over the west coast, the dry spells are associated with days when the winds blow parallel to the coast. Optional may you study a bit more on this. You talk about also the role of STWJ. NCERT है, school है, तो इतना ही लिख के छोड़ दिया. Okay, what it's saying is that why rains can fail. One is the winds coming from this side, maybe they don't have enough number of depressions. And on this side, rather than the wind moving like this, it's possible that the wind starts moving parallel to the coast like this. ऐसे move करेगा. Okay, so they don't hit the coast. That's why the western coast can also have dry spells. So ये point लिखो, उसके बाद go deep the way options we have discussed. Okay, no, PDF is given once you solve the test. Okay, आप solve कर लो test platform में. Okay, then you can download the PDF with explanations and questions also. ठीक है? Okay, come back. So why do we have dry spells? Are these two reasons in the NCERT. One is the depressions or the rain-bearing storms are not very frequent. Second is the winds blow parallel to the coast along the west coast of India. So the factors of monsoon is done, and the mechanism of monsoon is done, and the rainfall pattern system is done. Okay? Now we move towards the rhythm of the seasons. Rhythm of the seasons. Okay, so four seasons. The cold weather season, the hot weather season, the southwest monsoon season, and the retreating season. I'll show an interesting question to all of you. इसको भी मैं छुपा देता हूँ answer. Let's see what you answer. 1989 का क्वेश्चन है. दिखाई दे रहा है. चलो ठीक है, अब जाने दो. Find the odd one out. Grishma, Sisir, Magha, Magh and Sharad. कौन सा odd man out है? Magh is a month. Okay. Shishir is season, winter ही है. Okay. Sharad is your autumn. Okay. Late autumn के बाद में winters, and Grishma is summers. Okay. So you should know the seasons. So I'm just giving you a range of questions asked. Okay. So it's business that you have to know some of these names also. Okay. So अगर आपने कर लिया ना questions, trust me, questions बहुत ज़्यादा बाहर से नहीं आने वाला. Okay. ठीक है. You can see the answers here, no problem. But you search. Okay. Now in Indian system, what are the seasons of India? ठीक है. Okay, back. This is the mantra that I tell myself, and I hope I convince you guys. Study like a teacher. What it means is कि अगर आपको पढ़ाने बोला जाए कि आके पढ़ाओ, आप कैसे प्रिपेयर करोगे? Okay, you have the luxury, सर आप जो पढ़ाओगे हम पढ़ लेंगे. पर मेरा कोई ऊपर नहीं है ना कि बताओ मुझे कौन पढ़ाएगा, मैं क्या पढ़ाऊं. तो my source of teaching is look at the PYQs. Accordingly, I design the entire course. If the question trends are changing, my content will again change in the class. Yes, correct. You have seen that, Nidhi. Okay. I would have come to that eventually. यहां से पूछा है क्वेश्चन, ये पेज नंबर 49 एनसीईआरटी का ही क्वेश्चन है. ठीक है. वसंत, ग्रीष्मा, वर्षा, शरद, हेमंत एंड शिशिर. ठीक है. और मंथ दिया रखा है. एंड दिस इज द पीवाईक्यू दैट यू हैव. Good. You noticed it. I'm happy. Okay, come back. NCERTs are, okay, the most important source for preparation. NCERT with the PYQs. You'll not miss a good range of questions then. Come back. Yes, come back. So start with the cold winter season. Oh, I have to reduce this. So cold weather season. This is the mean temperature is below 21 degrees centigrade over most of parts of northern India. The nights may be quite low, sometimes going below freezing Punjab and Rajasthan. There are three main reasons for excessive cold in North India. One is Punjab, Haryana are far away from the influence of seas. Second is the snowfall over Himalayan region. Third is the cold winds coming from Caspian Sea, Turkmenistan, and the cold waves, okay, bring frost and fog. ये बता दिया आपको, remember? The continental air mass from Central Asia, that can bring, we can have snowfall. Snowfall is because of western disturbances, okay, and we can have the distance from the sea. So what are the reasons why the northern India is so cold? The influence of the Central Asian air mass, the cold waves, snowfall because of western disturbances, and the third is the distance from the sea, the effect of continentality. ठीक है? Okay. ये सब boxes we'll see afterwards. The peninsular region of India, however, does not have well-defined cold weather. Okay, there's hardly any seasonal change in distribution of patterns of temperature in the coastal area because of the moderating influence of sea and proximity to the equator. So Thiruvananthapuram is as high as 31. In the June, it is 29.5. Look at the range of temperature, very, very less. ठीक है? So coastal areas में the range of temperature is very less. आपको क्वेश्चन याद आ रहा था इलाहाबाद वाला? The range of temperature was telling us how much? 9 degrees centigrade. चेन्नई का 9 नहीं होने वाला. The range of temperature. Okay, the range of temperature of Chennai coast is very, very less. यहाँ पर तो just about 1.5 degrees centigrade ही का difference है, correct? The two Qs I had, okay, कि इलाहाबाद answer है कि चेन्नई answer है. 9-10 degrees is a good range of temperature, which is true for the continentality locations. Okay, all of you? ये facts पे ध्यान दो. Don't just mechanically read. Okay, so what does this mean? Okay, low range मतलब कितना low range? You have an idea now. 1.5, 2, 3 के अंदर है तो it is coastal areas. What about the pressure and the winds? Okay, December में, okay, the sun shines directly over the Tropic of Capricorn. Sun southern hemisphere में है. The weather is characterized by feeble high pressure conditions over the northern plains. सबसे cold part कहाँ है इंडिया में? Which part of India is coldest? Which part of India is coldest? The northwestern parts. They are the coldest one. So where will the high pressure be? Northwestern parts. ठीक है? Look at the pressure patterns. Page number 43 देखो. Okay. So high pressure कहाँ पर होगा? देखो. High pressure is, इस pressure में highest pressure is here. 1019, 1018. दिख रहा है ये वाला high pressure? From the high pressure, winds will move out. The winds are moving out from here, moving out from here. Okay. And we also have the northeast trade winds, more or less moving from northeast of India. और यहां पर क्या है, देखो यहां पर ये पार्ट में क्या है, the winds are coming like this and turning like this. Have a sense of direction of the winds, कैसा है? Okay, so it's not everywhere northeast winds. The high pressure is towards the northwestern part. यहाँ पर high pressure है, यहाँ से winds is moving out, it's moving out. यहाँ पर vindhyas है, it moves out, it turns like this, and from here it has again, okay, from here it has again turned like this, because यहाँ पर vindhyas नहीं है. तो यहाँ पर you have the influence of the northeast trade winds. Okay, the winds come like this. Is it okay? So northern part में the cold waves होगा, the cold waves come from this part towards the rest of the plains. Did I understand all of you here? So back to your textbook. Back to your textbook. Okay. So the weather in this season is characterized by a feeble high pressure conditions over the northern plains. In the south, the air pressure is slightly lower. The isobars of 1019 millibars and 1013 millibars pass to northwest India and far south. तो ये वैल्यू जानो आप लोग, इनसे लिखा है NCERTs में. Southern India has a pressure of approximately 1013 and northwest has pressure of 1019. This is high pressure, ये भी high pressure है, but this is a relatively higher pressure because of the cold conditions. As a result, the wind starts blowing from northwestern high pressure zone to the low pressure zones over the Indian Ocean in the south. Okay. Due to low pressure gradient, gradient मतलब difference ऐसा है, the light winds with low velocity, the speed, they blow outwards. The topography of the region influences the wind direction. They are westerly or northwesterly down the Ganga valley. They become northerly in the Ganga-Brahmaputra delta. Free from the infant topography, they are clearly northeasterly over the Bay of Bengal. Very nice discussion of how the winds are. Okay, look at the board, all of you. You need to have small quick sketches, diagram dekh ke. Okay, you have to understand the patterns and relate. Okay, now watch here. What it's saying is that this area is the area of the high pressure. Okay, and you have got ranges यहाँ पर, ये Vindhyan ranges हैं. तो यहाँ से the winds are moving out in all direction. Because the mountains here, the winds will move like this, और यहाँ पर कुछ नहीं है. They turn like this, and then they turn like this. Low pressure systems are here. So they are moving northwesterly, then they are moving northerly, and then they move northeasterly. The winds are named from the direction they come. They come from northwest, northwesterly. They come from north, they are northerly. And then they are more or less northeasterly. ठीक है? Back to a textbook. Let's see if you understand this or not. It says, they are westerly or northwesterly along the Ganga valley. They become northerly in the Ganga-Brahmaputra delta. Free from influence topography, they are clearly northeasterly over the Bay of Bengal. Okay, during the winters, the weather in India is pleasant, the conditions, okay, there are cyclonic depressions from the East Mediterranean Sea. यही आपका है western disturbances. Again, ये depressions बोल रहा है, मतलब not very strong low pressure. They are cyclonic, they are temperate cyclones. They are weak low pressures. They travel eastwards across West Asia, Iran, Afghanistan. They reach northwestern part of India. They have moisture from the Caspian Sea, Persian Gulf, and therefore they rain. Okay, they cause depression to come towards India. This is the discussion of the western disturbances. Take all of you. Then what is the pattern of rainfall? The winter monsoons do not cause rainfall as they move from land towards sea. So they are largely from land towards sea. They are offshore winds. It is it is because, firstly, they have little humidity. Second, due to anticyclonic conditions, the rainfall from them reduces. So most parts of India do not have rainfall in the winter season. However, there are some exceptions to this. Okay. In the northwest India, some weak temperate cyclones. अब मिला ये term मिला आपको ये वाला? The winters. यही है western disturbances. The weak temperate cyclones from the Mediterranean Sea cause rainfall in Punjab, Haryana, Delhi, Western UP, and so on. They're beneficial for rabi crops. They can form snowfall in the Himalayas. They sustain the flow of water in the Himalayan rivers. The precipitation goes on decreasing from west towards east. The average winter rainfall in Delhi is around 53 mm. Okay? Just about 5 centimeter rainfall in Delhi mein. Punjab mein, okay, it's between Punjab and Bihar, 25 mm and 18 mm respectively. So, Bihar has rainfall of 18 mm and Punjab has rainfall of 25 mm. 2 centimeters rain and 1.8 or centimeter rains here. Delhi has more rainfall than Punjab yahan bol raha hai. The average winter rainfall, Delhi is 5 centimeters, Punjab is 2.5 centimeters, Bihar it is 1.8 centimeters. ये रखो ये figure याद में. Very less rainfall and the rainfall patterns. अब मैं दिखा दिया कि क्वेश्चन पूछ लेता है ऐसे वाला. जो भी facts NCERTs में है, please remember that. ठीक है. The central part of India and northern parts of peninsula, they also get winter rain occasionally. Maybe summer depressions might come here, but very less. Arunachal Pradesh and Assam, they have rains between 25 and 50 mm. I think you all know this. Western disturbances can also impact the rains of northeastern India. Assam, Arunachal Pradesh mein bhi hota hai. Okay, during the October-November, the northeast monsoons, while crossing over Bay of Bengal, pick up moisture and they cause torrential rainfall over Tamil Nadu coast. So what are the regions that have rainfall in the winters? Okay? So Tamil Nadu region can have torrential. This word is important. Hai. Torrential rainfall, very heavy rainfall. That's why even if Tamil Nadu does not receive much rain in the southwest monsoon, because northeast monsoon mein acha rainfall hota hai, the average rains of Chennai is more than 100 centimeters. Okay, वही question Allahabad wala. Okay, which climate conditions there? All good here? Okay, let's move on. So after done the winter season, now come towards hot weather season. The hot weather season. With apparent northward movement, the sun towards Tropic of Cancer, the temperatures start increasing. So it is summer month. April, May, June, okay, are the summer months of North India. The temperatures recorded are 30 to 32 degrees centigrade. In March, the highest temperatures can cross 38 in parts of Deccan Plateau. Okay, and range 38, 40 is found in Gujarat, MP, fine. The hot weather seasons in South India is mild and not so intense as in North India. The hot weather season, okay, in South India is mild and not intense. Remember, assertion reasoning questions में आ जाएगा ये वाला. Okay, some of you might see this as wrong. कि नहीं sir, तेलंगाना भी बहुत गर्म होता है. Right? So NCERT says it is not as hot. Why? Because the peninsular situation of South India with moderating effect of the oceans keep the temperature lower. ये है assertion reasoning question बन जाएगा prelims में. Okay, ये statement है, ये reason है. Okay, statement 1 is correct. Okay, 2 is correct, and 2 explains 1. Or 1 is wrong, 2 is correct. Or 1 is correct, 2 is wrong. Okay, it can be assertion reasoning question for your prelims. The fact is, it says South India is not as intense as North India. So temperatures remain between 26 and 32 degrees centigrade. Due to altitude, the Western Ghats can even be below 25 degrees centigrade. And the coastal regions, the north-south extent of isotherms, parallel to coast confirms that temperatures don't decrease from north towards south, it increases from coast towards interiors. Beautiful question here. Ab isotherms dekho. Okay, this is an isotherm. Isotherm is north south ऐसे. इसका meaning क्या है? What's the meaning of the north south isotherm? Yes. Generally what we say, the temperatures varies along latitudes or along longitude. कैसे होता है? Along latitudes, right? You go northwards, it becomes more and more cooler, or अगर continentality है, it becomes more and more hotter. Okay. So if the temperatures are varying latitude के वजह से, the isotherms must be कैसा? Parallel, but parallel to what? To latitudes. ये latitude है, ये latitude है, ये latitude है, ये latitude है. Maybe this is hot and this is cool. So isotherms must also be like this, must be like this, must be like this. Okay. If isotherms are like this, का मतलब क्या है? That north south से temperature vary नहीं कर रहा है. It's varying east west now. समझ में आ रहा है यहाँ पर? So you look at the isotherms of the plateau. कैसा है पैर से? ये north south है ना ये वाला. ये है north south ये वाला. And that's what it says. It says if you look at the north south extent of the isotherms parallel to the coast, confirms that temperature does not decrease from north towards south. India में north is more hotter than the south. Rather, it increases from the coast towards the interiors. Mana question all of you here? These are interesting discussion points. Okay. And the mean daily temperatures in the summers can be quite high, but rarely goes below 20 degrees centigrade. Okay. If you look at this part यहाँ पर temperature are varying north-south. You go northward, okay, it's becoming a bit more cooler. If you look at the plateau in general and the northern plains, again north-south effect hai. But plateau mein it is east-west effect. The coasts along the margins are cooler. As you go inside, becomes more and more warmer. Take all of you? Okay. Come back here. Pressure and winds. Pressure and winds. The summer months are a period of excessive heat, falling air pressure. The ITCZ moves northward, occupying position 25 degrees north in the July. ये सब देख लिया था आपने, और जयपुर वाला line approximately ITCZ. This is the elongated low pressure monsoon trough, extends over Thar Desert in the northwest to Patna and Nagpur plateau in southeast. The ITCZ attracts the surface circulation which are southwest over the west coast as well as along the coast of West Bengal. They're easterly or southeasterly over Bengal and Bihar. So when they enter India, they are now moving from the eastern side. So Bihar and Bengal mein they're easterly, ka matlab they're coming from east. Okay. These currents of southwest monsoon hi hai. The reality, they are displaced equatorial westerlies. Remember the first discussion that I showed you? When I was showing you which one? Yeah, ye wala. In this diagram. Because the winds are moving like this. This is the equatorial part here. Okay. In the equatorial part, the winds have moved like this. Yahan par I can call them as equatorial westerlies because they're coming from the west near the equator. Okay? That's what the book is telling us. It says the rain-bearing winds, I repeat, these currents are of southwesterly monsoons are in reality the displaced equatorial westerlies. Okay? And where they become westerlies? At around 60 to 40 degree east longitudes. वहीं पर घूमते हैं. The influx of these winds by mid-June brings about change in weather. Any issue with this paragraph is an important one. How do the pressure patterns impact the wind systems? In the heart of ITCZ, in the northwest, the dry hot winds are called as loo. जो ITCZ है वही low pressure belt है, उसी के अंदर there are pockets of these very hot conditions and winds called as loo. They blow in the afternoon. They can continue well to midnight. They are dust storms, very common in May and June, Punjab, Haryana, Eastern Rajasthan and Uttar Pradesh. These temporary storms, okay, sometimes they can cause rains also. The बहुत गर्म हो गया, okay, they can, air starts rising, can cause some rains. So these temporary storms, okay, become a respite from oppressing heat, because with them they bring light rains and a pleasant cool breeze. Okay. Occasionally the moisture winds get attracted towards periphery of trough, and the contact of dry and moist air give rise to local storms with great intensity. Now watch here. What it's telling us is that this is okay, the location of the ITCZ is here, and ITCZ itself is a hot and a dry condition. ये low pressure है, right? Low pressure है. The winds are here. The winds are here. The winds don't move completely inside till the southern westerly has gone northwards. Okay. And inside this there are local very hot winds called as loo. The hot winds can start rising and they can cause some rainfall, which brings some respite. Okay. Sometimes some of these moisture winds, they can enter India thoda bahut and come here. Some of these can enter and come here. So इसके अंदर में dry conditions हैं और ये वाला moist है. When they mix here, they can create very strong winds. They can create very strong rainfall. But they are temporary strong rainfall. They are the thunderstorms, what we otherwise called as the pre-monsoon showers जो हैं. Okay, back to your textbook. I'm reading again. It says, these temporary storms, okay, occasionally, the moisture-laden winds are attracted towards the periphery of the trough. A sudden contact between the dry and the moist air mass gives rise to local storms of great intensity. These local storms are associated with violent winds, torrential rains, and even hailstorms. यही है आपका pre-monsoon showers, and they are convectional rainfalls. And we have some local names here. Mango showers, okay, called in Kerala, in parts of Karnataka also. ये pre-monsoon shower है. Okay, they help in early ripening of mangoes. Blossom showers, okay, they are called as blossom showers because they help coffee, and also they help cherry blossoms. Again, parts of Kerala and nearby areas. They are called nor'westers. Okay, in Bengal, they are also called as Kal Baisakhi. But they are useful for the tea. They're bad for economy in general, but some tea, even it says jute and some rice cultivation also. In Assam, they are called as Bardoli Chirha. Bardoli Chirha. And the loo. Loo is a hot, dry, oppressing winds, and so on. Okay. So these are some of the local winds of the plateau and the thunderstorms. Loo is another dry, dusty wind. But the loo can create some heavy rainfall also, but short showers again for a very small spell. Okay, all done? Okay, let's move on. The southwest monsoon season. The southwest monsoon season. Okay. It says by early June, they are powerful enough to attract trade winds. So by June, the low pressure has become very, very powerful. They can attract trade winds of southern hemisphere coming from Indian Ocean. The winds cross equator, enter Bengal and Arabian Sea. They bring with them moisture in abundance. And the rain begins rather abruptly. We have called the sudden onset as the burst of the monsoons. ये पहले आपका हो गया आपका points, ठीक है? So low pressure winds here, and the monsoon burst happens in the first week of June, coastal area of Kerala and so on. The temperatures decline by 5 to 8 centigrade in the mid-June, July, and the direction is modified by the relief and the low pressure. A repeat of whatever we have done up till now. Now, what are the rain-bearing systems? The monsoon approaches the landmass in two branches, the Arabian Sea branch and the Bay of Bengal branch. We have done the mechanisms, we know the seasons. Now, how does the rain distribution happen? So, monsoon winds of the Arabian Sea, okay, they are split into three branches. One branch is obstructed by the Western Ghats, and these can climb the slope of Western Ghats. Okay, they become cold and they cause heavy rainfall on the western coastal plains, and the rainfall can be 250 to 400 centimeters. Okay, and after they cross Ghats, they descend, they are dry and they get heated up. So Ghats on the windward side have rains, on the leeward side they descend and they are drier winds and they are warm winds. So we have the rain shadow effect, okay, and rainfall of fine. Figure 4 point. Okay, so ये rainfall pattern यहाँ पर है. Okay, it is a heavier rain, a bit less rain, a bit less rain, and more drier conditions. So as you move from here towards this, the rainfall becomes lesser. ठीक है? You move towards this, the rainfall becomes lesser. And यहाँ पर rainfall लिखा हुआ है. The coastal areas can have rainfall 200, 400 centimeters. This light gray 100, 60. You come inside, okay, rainfall is as less as for 20 and 40. So this area has less rainfall because of the rain shadow effect. Okay, this is the rainfall of the June-September. This is one branch. Second is the another branch of Arabian Sea strikes the north coast of Mumbai and moves along Narmada Tapi Valley, and they cause rainfall in the central India. So Chotanagpur plateau gets 15 centimeters of rain from this branch, and thereafter they can enter Ganga plains, okay, and mingle with the Bay of Bengal branch. So what we are reading here is that this is the coast of India, this is the Western Ghats. Okay, the winds are blocked here, winds are blocked here, winds are blocked. So good rains here, and this part has less rains. ये पढ़ लिया आपने. Then from this part, यहाँ पर gaps हैं, Narmada, Tapi gaps. From this part, the winds can enter and they can come right up to the Chotanagpur plateau. Okay, यहाँ पर Amarkantak highlands भी हैं. So even this part can receive some rain because of the Arabian Sea branch, because Narmada, Tapi gaps हैं. And from here, the winds can meet the Bay of Bengal branch and cause rainfall in the parts of northern plains also. ठीक है? I'm reading again. It says the north coast of Mumbai, beyond north coast of Mumbai, they move along Narmada and Tapi Valley. The winds cause rainfall in central India. The Chotanagpur plateau gets 15 centimeters of rain. Thereafter, they enter Ganga plains and mingle with the Bay of Bengal branch. ये second branch हो गया. Third is the third branch of the monsoon wind strikes Saurashtra Peninsula and the Kutch. It passes over the West Rajasthan along Aravallis and cause scanty rain. When Punjab and Haryana, they too join the Bay of Bengal branch, and they can cause some rains along the western Himalayas. So watch what it's saying. It's saying, it says that this is Himalayas here, and this is the Aravallis here. Okay, और यहाँ पर एक साबरमती river है, एक Mahi river है. The winds can enter from this, and they can go like this, and they can cause rains here. So they meet the Bay of Bengal branch. यहाँ पर भी rains हो सकता है. But they don't cause much rains along Rajasthan because the Aravallis are oriented in this direction. Yeah, the winds are parallel to the Arabian Sea, to the Aravallis. Fine? Okay. I repeat. The third branch of this monsoon strikes the Saurashtra Peninsula. This is the Saurashtra Peninsula. यहाँ पर gaps हैं, Sabarmati River and Mahi River. ठीक है? Kutch regions हैं. They pass over western Rajasthan and along Aravallis. They enter western Rajasthan and they go along Aravallis. Scanty rainfall there. In Punjab, Haryana, it joins the Bay of Bengal branch. And these two branches, reinforced by each other, cause rains in the western Himalayas. The foothills of Himachal and Uttaranchal can receive rains from the Arabian Sea branch. All fine? The Bay of Bengal, the Arabian Sea branch is done. Now come towards the winds of the Bay of Bengal. The winds of the Bay of Bengal. The Bay of Bengal branch strikes the coast of Myanmar, okay, and part of southeast Bangladesh, but the Arakan hills along the coast of Myanmar deflect a big portion of the branch towards Indian subcontinent. And this branch splits under the influence of Himalayas and the thermal low in the northwest India. Its one branch moves westwards along Ganga plains and reaching as far as Punjab plains. Other branch moves up the Brahmaputra valley northeast, causing widespread rains. So what's happening? What here? Watch here. What it's saying is that this part here, say it's like this. Okay, this is Myanmar here, and we have Arakan Yoma, Pegu Yoma, that is Himalayas here. We have got some hills here. So the winds are coming. They come like this, they come like this, they come like this. So they deflect here and they turn. They deflect here and turn. Plus, यहाँ पर आपका low pressure system है. So this wind, okay, because of the topographic pressure, it breaks in two parts. One goes like this, and one goes along Brahmaputra valley and goes like this. Okay, the Bay of Bengal branch, one goes towards the northwest India and one goes westwards towards Punjab. Because Punjab में यहाँ पर आपका low pressure system है. It's very, very hot in parts of western northern plains. Okay, so back to your notes, back to your textbook. It says the branch splits. So one you have mentioned, the coast of Myanmar deflects a big portion of the branch towards Indian subcontinent. यहाँ पर Arakan Yoma hills हैं. Arakan Yoma and Pegu Yoma hills. And then it says that this branch splits into two under the influence of Himalayas and a thermal low of the northwestern India. One branch moves westwards along Ganga plains, reaching as far as Punjab plains. ठीक है? And the other branch moves up the Brahmaputra and towards north and northeast, causing widespread rains. Then we have, it strikes Garo, Khasi hills of Meghalaya. Mawsynram, located at the crest of Khasi hills, receive the highest average rains in the world. So more than 1 meter rainfall in 1 year. It's important to know that Tamil Nadu coast remains dry during this season. Okay, so this wind goes like this, but the Tamil Nadu coast does not receive the rains from the Bay of Bengal branch. Yeah, what was the doubt? Okay, ठीक है. So the two reasons responsible कि why Tamil Nadu coast does not receive rains. One is Tamil Nadu coast situated parallel to the Bay of Bengal branch. The Bay of Bengal branch goes like this. A coast ऐसा ही है, parallel हो गया ये वाला दो. Okay. And second is it lies in the rain shadow area of the Arabian Sea branch. It lies in the rain shadow area of Arabian Sea branch. So okay, these winds don't come here. And these winds move parallel. That's why the Coromandel coast does not receive it. ये सारे assertion reasoning questions हैं. They're all assertion reasoning questions. Why does Tamil Nadu coast does not receive rains from the Bay of Bengal branch? Guys, this is what I can do for today's session. Okay, you have a fair idea about the winds now. Actually, और अगर 2 पेज पढ़ लेते हम लोग, it would have helped. but I will get late for my next class. ठीक है? So fine, you have a fair idea. Make some jottings, and please go back and solve the questions of Indian climate in the test platform. All of you can go to Edukemy website. Okay, उसमें टेस्ट जो दिए हैं हमारे टाइल्स बने हुए हैं, look that up and start solving there. ठीक है? And the PSP students, we continue your regular sessions starting at 3 o'clock, right? So please get your whatever notes you want to bring to revise, NCERT maybe, और आपके वो marathon tests होंगे. Today you also have your practice test. The practice test is around your PYQs. So करके आओ human geography. I had planned I will finish this and I'll do a bit of vegetation, but let's see. आज तो हो नहीं पाएगा. We'll do it some other day maybe. When is next, Balbir? Okay, बेटा ऐसा कोई schedule नहीं किया है. As and when the class might need some help, we will do it. Okay, but geography अब नहीं होगा. अब होगा reading, तो हमारा history वाला होगा. The next, this is an extension of the PSP classes we have, the prelim support program. Okay. No, I will not keep all of them live like this. This live is to help you and also partly marketing what we are doing. हर बार थोड़ी हम करा देंगे ऐसे ही. Okay, bye-bye. Have a nice weekend. PSP guys, keep studying.